So I know we've all heard this question before, and I heard this the other day from another DJ. I've got this really high-profile gig, and I'm not getting paid, but man, I'm going to get a lot of exposure. Hi, I'm Bill. This is Creative License, and I'm being paid in exposure. You want to see my wallet full of exposure? I wish I could tell you that exposure is a good idea, that doing it for nothing because you think you're getting paid in exposure is good for you, but 99% of the time, exposure doesn't pay your rent, doesn't fill your gas tank, it doesn't pay money to go out for dinner, pay for your schooling or your child's schooling. It doesn't have any money attached to it. There's really, honestly, not much value in exposure. Now, there is ways to attach value to exposure. And the way to do that is to think about what you hope exposure will give you, and then talk to your client about being sure that that exposure will give you what you want. What is it that you want? Is that exposure going to get you another gig? Okay, well, can they guarantee you that you're going to get 2 paid gigs out of this exposure, out of the 1 free gig that you're going to do for them? They're going to have a tough time with that. But if you can get that on paper, then you're putting some value on the exposure. Let me think of another thing. Oh, well, I'm going to be exposure. Exposure is like advertising. Advertising is going to get you out there to a large number of people, to the kind of clientele that you want to see, right? So you have to think about the advertising and the advertising you're doing it. Who's the advertising going out to? A bunch of corporate people in the sales department of this one company? That exposure going to get you gigs? Do you know that? Are any of the people at this corporate event in a position to be able to pay you to do another event? If advertising to all of these people, because you do this, is going to get them, put you front of mind with them. Let's say I can see doing some exposure work for a company that books entertainment. Okay. Well, in that, it should be in your contract that not only you're going to get exposure to all the agents that book entertainment, that at least 5 of them are going to book you at least 1 time in the next year, regardless of how good you are, because the exposure is also going to get them to see you and book you, and that work that into a contract. I mean, really. You want advertising? Well, what is advertising to you? Is it just to the people in the room, or are they willing to throw your name on television? Okay. When you're going to do exposure gig at a car dealer, are they also going to, when they're talking about the new Mitsubishi, are they going to talk about, Bill Hermann Entertainment and the fact that he does weddings, and when you get your new car for your new wedding, you should hire Bill Hermann Entertainment? That's worth a few things. If I get a TV ad where they mention me along with the new Mitsubishi that they're selling during the wedding season, exposure. I might not get paid here, but that kind of exposure is going to bring me customers. But I need to look at how that exposure is going to give me what I want. And before you can do that, you need to know exactly what you want and if that exposure will give that to you. Otherwise, you're doing it because you're nice. Okay? I'm okay if you're nice. Be nice. Being nice doesn't pay your bills. Being nice doesn't get you new gear. Being nice doesn't pay your rent or get you a new car or get you towards what you need to. There's no profit in being nice. Doing it for exposure, it's usually BS for we want it free, and you're probably not going to get nothing out of it. What do you think? Have you been able to work this out before? Have you been able to do exposure work and find a way to make a profit in it? I'd love to hear. I've only done it a couple of times. This is Bill. This is Creative License, and I'll see you next time.